If you were around in the 80s, chances are you saw La Bamba. This movie was absolutely everywhere. The film told the heartbreaking story of Richie Valens, the teenage rock and roll pioneer who died tragically in that infamous plane crash alongside Buddy Holly in The Big Bopper. But behind the scenes of this beloved classic, there are some truly shocking facts that most fans have never heard. Trust me, some of these will completely change how you see this film. Fact number 1. The inspiration came from a bizarre coincidence on Broadway. Here's where it all started. Luis Valdez and his brother Danny were on Broadway for the opening night of their play, Zoot Suit. They were in Danny's dressing room on the second story, feeling pretty confident about their success. They started talking about what their next project should be. At that exact moment, they heard mariachi music coming from the street below. They looked out the window and saw a band of mariachis playing La Bamba right there on 7th Street in the heart of New York City. According to Luis Valdez, those mariachis had been sent by the President of Mexico as a gesture of goodwill for the first Chicano play on Broadway. Whether or not that's precisely what happened, the timing was undeniably perfect. Fact number 2. It took 5 years just to find the family. After that magical moment on Broadway, Danny Valdez spent the next 5 years trying to track down any information about Richie Valens. We're talking 1979 to 1984, and he couldn't find anything. No books, no articles, nothing published about Richie's life. It wasn't until Danny discovered that Bob Morales, Richie's brother, was still around and living in the area that they finally made contact with the family. Bob showed up at a bar in San Juan Bautista, and that meeting changed everything. Fact number 3. Lou Diamond Phillips originally auditioned for Bob, not Richie. This one blows people's minds. Lou Diamond Phillips flew in from Texas completely prepared to play Bob Morales, the troubled older brother. He read for the Bob role and thought he had a better shot at landing that part. But director Luis Valdez saw something different in him. After the audition, Luis told Lou that he wasn't going to get the Bob role because he wasn't as tough as Esai Morales, but he thought Lou could play Richie instead. Lou initially refused, saying no way, he was Bob. Luis told him to go home, sleep on it, look at Richie's lines, and come back the next morning. Lou did exactly that, and the rest is history. Fact number 4. Luis Valdez auditioned over 600 actors across Los Angeles, New York, Miami, and Dallas. He wasn't looking for someone born and raised in East LA specifically, he was looking for a specific quality, that soft-hearted innocence that the real Richie Valens apparently had. Many actors who auditioned have gone on to successful careers, but none of them had that particular warmth Luis was searching for. Interestingly, Esai Morales, who eventually played Bob, originally auditioned for Richie. Fact number 5. Lou Diamond Phillips made only around $6,000 for the entire film. Despite being the star of the movie, Lou received scale pay, which was about $1,100 per week at the time. For the entire production, he earned a little over $6,000. Just like Richie in the movie, Lou gave half of that money to his mother because she had recently gotten divorced and was on her own. Within 6 months of wrapping the film, Lou was almost completely broke. La Bamba was not a big studio production. The entire budget was only about $6.5 million, and it was a negative pickup, meaning the studio agreed to distribute it after it was completed rather than financing it up front. This made it a risky venture for everyone involved. But that risk paid off in ways nobody expected. That modest investment turned into a massive financial success. The movie earned over $54 million just in North American box office receipts. When you factor in international releases, especially in Latin American countries where it was a phenomenon, plus VHS sales and DVD sales over the years, La Bamba became one of the most profitable films of its era relative to its budget.
Fact number 6. Bob Morales was brutally honest about his own flaws. Luis Valdez asked Bob Morales to be completely honest during their interviews, and Bob delivered. He admitted he was a drunk, that he was violent, and that he was abusive to his family. He told Luis that if he wanted to write all of that into the story, he should go ahead. Luis has always said he's grateful to Bob for allowing that honesty, because you simply cannot tell that story authentically without permission from the real people involved. Bob's openness helped everyone else open up too. Fact number 7. Richie's mother died just 3 months after the premiere. Connie Valenzuela, Richie's mother, was already sick when the film was being made, but she held on. Luis Valdez has said that she came back to life for the movie. She attended the premiere on July 24, 1987, and got to see her son's story told on the big screen. On October 18, 1987, just about 3 months after the film premiered, she passed away at age 72. She is now buried in the same grave as Richie at San Fernando Mission Cemetery. Fact number 8. The real Bob Morales picked Lou up at the airport. When Lou Diamond Phillips got the role and flew back to Texas to pack his bags for the shoot, it was Bob Morales himself who picked him up at the airport when he returned to California. Bob took Lou to the house that Richie had bought for his mother, Connie, in Pacoima, where Lou met the entire family, including Connie Sr., Irma, Mario, and the real Rosie. That family endorsement meant everything to Lou. Fact number 9. Luis Valdez initially thought Richie Valens was Italian. Here's a fascinating piece of perspective from the director himself. When Richie's management changed his name from Ricardo Valenzuela to Richie Valens, it seems to have obscured his heritage in the public eye. Luis Valdez has shared that when he first heard La Bamba back in 1959, he assumed Richie Valens was Italian. He remembers wondering who this Italian guy was singing in Spanish. It wasn't until later that Luis discovered Richie was actually Chicano. This speaks to how the industry handled Latino artists at the time, and based on what we know about the era, passing as Italian likely made Richie more marketable to mainstream audiences. Fact number 10. A La Bamba remake is currently in development. This news surprised even Lou Diamond Phillips and Luis Valdez. In August 2024, it was announced that a La Bamba remake is in the works through Mucho Mas Media and Sony Pictures. Luis Valdez has signed on as an executive producer, with Jose Rivera writing the new screenplay. Both Lou and Luis had the same initial reaction, asking why, since they felt they had covered the story thoroughly. Lou has said that if it puts money in the family's pockets, he supports it, and he suggested the remake could explore the brutal conditions of the Winter Dance Party tour that led Buddy Holly to charter that fateful plane. Conclusion. La Bamba remains one of the most beloved music biopics ever made. It launched careers, honored a legend, and told an authentic story that still resonates nearly 38 years later. The film succeeded because of the passion and authenticity that everyone brought to the project, from Luis Valdez's visionary writing and directing to the family's willingness to share their truth. In 2017, La Bamba was added to the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress, cementing its place as a culturally and historically significant American film. Whether you're watching it for the first time or the 100th, now you know the incredible stories behind the scenes that made this film possible. If you enjoyed these facts, make sure to like and subscribe and let us know in the comments which facts surprised you the most.